Alright guys, welcome to today's video. Not a video I really wanted to make, but a video I feel like I need to make just because still I see a lot of confusion on what happened over the weekend, and I just want to help try to clear up some of the confusion. So Saturday, I think it was second session or first session, went out to go drift. They changed up the grid a little bit from day 1 to day 2 at Grid Life. Day 1 they wanted to do hot track. You don't stop anywhere on the track. That was okay, but there was a lot of issues with a lot of slow moving traffic not getting out of the way, making it hard for people to get full laps or drift sections that are driftable at Gingerman, because a lot of it is not, or if you did drift some of it, you just kill through a bunch of tires. So in the second drivers meeting, which was Saturday, on the second day, they decided to go back to the way that they've always done it, which has worked fantastic. There's been no issues. You could get out of your car at a certain point once you get over the crest, let your car cool down, check tires, because it's a massive straight. I think it's almost a quarter-mile straight on the very back section of Gingerman before corner 1 or corner 11, I think it is. Sorry, I don't know all the corners very well. But so we switched to that grid, which was announced in the drivers meeting at Grid Life. Nick Swan made it very clear that if you're coming over the crest, to be careful, because there's going to be a lot of cars that are going to be either parked or slow moving, because that is going to be basically a hot grid cool down zone. And then we were being sent from that area there, so you had to stop in a line unless Grid Master was sending you straight through. But you pretty much had to line up to go with the new gridway. Well, not new, the way that they switched back to that they've done for the last 10 years, which has worked very effective. It went last year. Worked perfect, had no issues. Well, while I was sitting, I think according to Chad's GPS on his GoPro, from the top of the hill, or the crest, to where I was sitting was about 630 something feet. Which he looked at the GPS location on his GoPro, and I'll probably include a video of that in here somewhere. But 600 feet from the top of the crest, he was driving 55 miles an hour, which is pretty quick, and it took him 7 seconds to get to the point of where I was rear-ended. Rear-ended by a driver, not going to say his name, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. We were rear-ended by a driver who claimed he was looking to the side because somebody was trying to tandem with him. So they must have been coming over the crest, probably at pretty fast speed. Driver is not paying attention directly in front of him and turned his head back and bam, hit me. This is one of those situations that definitely could be completely avoidable. But I've seen some people posting that like it could be either my fault, his fault. I mean, it's just, honestly, it's a terrible situation overall. Humans make mistakes and accidents, and this stuff does happen sometimes, and it's really unfortunate. It's just how we recover and rebuild from this, and how people react and take responsibility from this. Obviously the car is very damaged. His car is completely totaled. I'll probably just include like a picture of the front of it. But yeah, I don't think his car is probably even savable. Somehow, with me being at a complete stop and getting hit probably around 40 to 50 miles an hour, this car is in great condition for what it could have been. Oh yeah, so sitting on grid, letting my car cool down, revving it, probably there for about, I don't know, a minute, 30 seconds, letting the car try to cool down because I just did some laps, and bam, just get rear-ended out of nowhere. We literally went airborne. Jordan was with me in the passenger seat. He yelled "ow" at first. I was in shock of what happened, couldn't believe it. Got out of my car, natural instinct, which you're not supposed to do on grid, but I did. The other guy is on the ground already out of his car in pain, apologizing. Just a crazy situation. Well, we just got rear-ended in grid. Unfortunately, I think the car is totaled. Car is completely pushed in. should have been a completely avoidable situation. Should always be going slow in areas that are for grid, or like announced in the driver's meeting that there's going to be cars on the side of the road. And that's the other thing, that my car, I was so far on the edge of the track, I was basically at the point of almost having 2 wheels off, but I didn't want to have 2 wheels off because there's long grass, and it has issues in the past of cars catching on fire pulling off that far in grass, just having hot engines, headers, whatever it may be. So I didn't pull all the way off, but I was very close to being off the track when I got hit. Not sure how far we went. After looking back in the videos, I didn't even see any skid marks from tires locking up or anything, so I don't know if he literally looked up and hit me and didn't even get a chance to try to brake, or what happened. But just wanted to make a video kind of clearing this up, show you guys some of the damage. So as you guys can see, I kind of have the bumper sitting on here, but the crash bar is completely mangled. This whole quarter and taillight pocket is just like pushed in super far. We did drive some more sessions, so we pulled this out a lot with a pry bar. A couple pry bars and a jack wedged in here, and we got this so it was big enough to clear at least driving. Also, it originally broke this lower control arm right here. There's an upper control arm, it snapped and damaged my brand new axles that I literally just put in before the grid life, so that kind of sucks. So it ended up breaking the upper control arm, like I said, lower control arm, which is crazy because those are massive and cast, and damaged my axle some. Shout out to all my friends for helping me out, because I was pretty much just like in disbelief of what happened. I mean, I just got the car all back together, looking the best I think it's ever looked, in my opinion, and something like this happens. It's just really terrible luck, honestly, or if luck exists, I don't know what it is, but hopefully there's something to come good of all this somehow. But we'll get the car put back together with the help of all my friends, and go back out for the next session. Didn't even miss the next session, but second lap out, I did call this. I should have knew better, because S2000s have a history of breaking the knuckles. They're a very weak point on these cars for some reason, but road race people with high traction tires are known for breaking knuckles, and I've already bent one before. Never snapped one, but bent one. So the ball joint fell out of the knuckle, like came unpressed, but we used a welder, tacked it all back in, and we thought we were good. Well, second lap on entry, probably doing, I don't know, 80 to 100 miles an hour, not sure exactly. The knuckle snapped, and I'll include a video of that. Pretty funny video, but it sucked because we lost another wheel, because I did lose one gram light when I initially got hit. He hit me and it literally punctured through the center of my wheel. And then unfortunately, when the knuckle snapped, it also again broke the upper control arm, damaged the axle more, and we lost a wheel. It basically did a 50-50 grind on the side of the wheel, or the lip of the wheel, and just wore it all the way down through the metal. So that was super unfortunate. That happened super early in the session, like I said, the second lap. We get towed in, get everything fixed again, find a new upper, new knuckle. The thing that sucks about breaking knuckles with this car and the setup I have for the rear end is that you have to use a special hub for the 31 spline 8.8 axles that I run for running the 488 Pro axles in this car. So I had to press out the bearing. Luckily I had a spindle that was actually already had the bearing pressed out, but I just knocked the hub out and went and got a bearing at the parts store, pressed that in, pressed the hub back in, and we were good to go. And I ended up driving the rest of the weekend, which ended on a high note. But I thought there should be some clarification around this. Again, I just want to bring awareness to, you need to be able to pay attention on track at all times. I mean, imagine if I would have been, off anywhere on the track, or my car broke down somewhere on the track. Like, there's no excuse for hitting somebody that's on track broken. Like, I understand accidents happen, but like, I wouldn't be so salty about this if it was something like I flew off on turn 1 and somebody else flew off on turn 1 and hit me. Like, that's just kind of one of those things that sucks, but it does happen in drifting. And like, I understand the risk bringing my car to the track every time, but something like this shouldn't happen. This is totally avoidable. So what I'm going to be doing to try to help fund getting the car back together is I have a little website going up, and some of these prices are obviously going to be a little higher than you would expect for a t-shirt or a hoodie or some stickers. But basically all the money raised from this products on the website, Medina Motorsports stuff, huge shout out to Blank Canvas for making this website for us, is going to go directly towards funding fixing the car. I haven't decided exactly if I'm going to put a whole new quarter on the car yet, or just try to pull this out and do over on it, because there's only one company that makes overs and I'm not the most stoked on their styling. But regardless, anything you guys buy on there to support me, support the channel, I super appreciate it. And go straight back into fixing this car to get it back to the way it was before the weekend. I have no plans of giving up. I've had this chassis for 8 years now, or August will be 8 years, and this chassis means an absolute lot to me. We've been through a lot together, and I'll do anything it takes to fix this chassis. But like I said, luckily it's mostly cosmetic and suspension components. The frame rail is perfectly straight, which I can show you guys. I had a little clip of that. But overall, we're honestly pretty lucky. We've had a lot of carnage. Like I said, we broke 2 wheels, 2 upper control arms, a lower control arm, a knuckle, 2 my front bumper I ripped off, even ran that over and ruined that. Trying to think, oh, my exhaust got tacoed from when I got hit as well. Just definitely an expensive weekend, and I usually don't ask for help on things like this, but if you guys do support my video, or if you guys want to support me and helping getting this car back to the way it was and supporting the channel, I'd really appreciate if you guys take a look on the website and maybe purchase a sticker. But thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing and supporting me. It means so much. This isn't the easiest video to make. Honestly, it hasn't soaked in yet. I don't know how I'm not more angry than I am, or maybe I'm just more mature now than what I would have been 5 years ago, and probably would have tried to fight somebody. But again, thank you guys so much for supporting me. Huge shout out to all my partners and everybody, but I'll be back stronger than ever.